the shocking reason you still can't lose weight despite the fact that you're eating healthy. I know, it's so frustrating. I've been there before. We have all been told for years and years, calories in, calories out, exercise more, eat less. And I'm here to tell you it just does not work that way. There's so much more to the story when the metabolism is broken. So many pieces of the puzzle involved. There's hormones that come into play when the hormones are out of balance, and most people don't realize that when you go to your conventional medicine practitioner and you have lab work done, even if you have a hormone panel done, it's not comprehensive. They aren't looking at the full picture. And so that's one piece of the puzzle, because they're not looking at all of the information to help connect the dots. But the other piece is that there's so much more that's even impacting the hormones upstream. So chemical, emotional, physical stressors, or physical, physiological, psychological stressors that impact. We all have different size buckets. And when those buckets start to overflow is when we start to see a lot of this gene expression get turned on, different health challenges that begin to occur as a result. And one of them that we see often when people are really compromised with their health is weight loss resistance. And that's what that is. If you've been eating really well, you've been trying to take really good care of yourself, and maybe you've even lost a little bit of weight, but not significant, not for the amount of effort that you've put in. And it really becomes very, very frustrating, because the world will tell you that you need to eat less and exercise more. And in some instances, people they're under eating. They're not even eating enough. And the more exercise, depending on what the situation is, I'm a huge fan of exercise. Let me just preface what I'm about to say with that. Exercise is extremely important, but it needs to be specific to what's going on in your situation. So if you are extremely stressed out, or if the body is stressed out, sometimes people don't even realize we've been so habituated to all of the stress in our lives, people don't even realize how stressed out they are sometimes, that can have a significant impact on what's going on with the body. And then we're adding additional huge stressor with exercise on top of it. That can actually compound the issue. So believe it or not, you can actually gain weight exercising more and eating less. And so we really have to look upstream at what's going on with the individual and start offloading that burden, the what's going on with that bucket overflowing. Start removing some of the things out of that bucket so that the body has the capacity for healing. Another thing that is not often talked about is the body getting into cell danger response. And that will definitely do screwy things with the metabolism as well. And you may have heard me talk before about the body having a priority principle, and this is where cell danger response comes into play. Because if the body is in a protection mode, it's taking all of the energy, resources, nutrition that you have and trying to protect itself. So the good things that you're trying to put into the cells, or it's not getting into the cell, and the waste that the mitochondria produce within the cell cannot be eliminated. So the body can't detoxify properly, it can't get the good nutrition that it needs. And so that's where cell danger response comes into play. And all sorts of crazy things can happen with that. There can be different autoimmune situations, different health challenges that come as a result of those things not working properly. But one of the things that we can see is an impact on metabolic health as well. So there's oftentimes depleted energy, so there will be low energy, metabolic issues. There can be a number of other things, lots of inflammation that can show up in different ways with mood and depression, anxiety. Some of these things can coincide with some of that weight loss resistance, and it's all part of that upstream root cause. There can be skin issues, sleep issues, all of it. And so a lot of times people are just looking at the hormonal piece, and maybe they're going to their medical provider and they're just getting on hormones, could even be bioidentical hormones, but this is not addressing the upstream root cause as to why some of these things are happening. And that's why some people will get on hormones, like I did so many years ago, got on bioidentical hormones and actually gained weight because it became an additional stressor on the body. When you get on some of these hormones, what it does is it signals the body to stop producing some of those hormones naturally. So your body will stop making those hormones altogether, and then it can create a whole bunch of other issues. I prefer, and we've had such great results with getting to the upstream root cause, addressing what's going on there. And we do that through lab work and different assessments that we do with our health participants, with our clients, to help them figure out what is the fastest way to an upward trajectory with their health. And in turn, what happens is we can really address what's going on with that weight loss resistance. Something else that happens when there's been a lot of stress, whether it's chemical, meaning environmental toxins, emotional, could be relationship stuff. There's a lot of stuff even going on societally that can be very impactful. Social media, just looking at it or watching the news, that's a huge stressor that people are really not considering how that's impacting their health. It really has a huge impact. And then we talked about the physical stressors too, the exercise. There can be different things where you're just really pushing the limits with the body. And once again, we've been so habituated to kind of push through, we're not even recognizing some of these things as stressors anymore. So we need to recognize where we can take some of the burden off of the body in these situations. So if we can swap out maybe, personal care products and as much as we can work with as far as cleaning up our diet and eating more organic so that the body's not having to deal with those stressors, that's great. And that is super, super helpful to kind of take that burden off. Another thing that we work with is nervous system regulation or limbic system rewiring, brain retraining to help retrain the body's response to the stressors that we get exposure to. And that can make a huge impact, because if the body's in this stressed out space all of the time, then we're constantly emitting these inflammatory chemicals, and the body's taking a lot of those resources once again to manage the inflammation and oxidative stress, as opposed to freeing up the capacity for healing. So that piece of what we work with can be extremely helpful there as well, just retraining the body's stress response. Now, the thing that can happen with all of these stressors over time is there can be damage to the hypothalamus. It's a control center in the brain for many different things. It controls temperature. When we look at weight loss resistance from a metabolic perspective, there is a huge impact that the hypothalamus has on different hormones and the metabolic piece. So when that damage occurs, this goes back to you can be eating less and working out more, and it does not matter, because there is a dysregulated hypothalamus that needs to recover from some of the damage that's happened there, or some of the dysregulation that's happened there. And those are things that we work with too. When we can look at lab work and figure out what's going on specifically with an individual, there are things that we can tweak and support that we can give to really help heal what's going on with the hypothalamus, and in turn heal that weight loss resistance. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. I'm a functional medicine practitioner. And years before I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's autoimmune, I had always been in really, really great shape, super lean. I think at one point I was probably around, around 14 or 15% body fat, which to have been in that place and then gotten to this place with my health where I had gained close to 40 pounds. And I was still eating really well and exercising as much as I could, even though I was chronically fatigued. I know how frustrating it is. I've been there. To have the answers now to be able to share, and I just want to give you hope. If you have been struggling with this and you've been trying to do all of these right things, there is a process that works very, very well to be able to approach all of this, but it's very specific to your situation and how we can support some of what's going on in your individual situation. So the takeaway today would be, if you haven't eliminated some of those things, environmental toxins that you might be getting exposure to, like your cleaning products, your personal care products, that's a great place to start. If you have done some of those things and you're eating really clean and taking really good care of yourself, then there's definitely more to the story, and you're definitely going to want to dig deeper and have somebody that does comprehensive functional lab work. We do that in our office to be able to connect the dots, but then once again look upstream to see what's going on and to be able to find solutions for your particular situation and guide you through that process. So we look at cellular healing, cellular detoxification, getting rid of some of those toxins the body has stored. When we talked about cell danger response, the body does not do a great job of being able to detoxify when it's in that compromised state for an extended period of time. So that really needs some of that support there. And then we also need to look at how to do nervous system regulation, be able to calm the body's stress response. And then the final piece is that hypothalamus reset, where we look at how can we restore hypothalamus function and in turn metabolic function as a result. So I hope that was some helpful information for you. If you've got questions, please feel free to reach out. We've got great information to be able to share. And like I said, I wish that somebody had these answers for me. I searched for so many years, gained so much weight, was so frustrated, and had all of the other symptoms as well that were just so darn frustrating when you're doing so many things right. But I'm here to tell you, don't quit doing all the good stuff right. There are answers. Keep up the good work. And there's more to the story that we can help you figure out. I hope that was some helpful information for you. If it was, please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. We love to be able to share and help and support you and change the trajectory of your health and your life and those of your loved ones as well. So health and happiness. Have a super fantastic day. Thanks so much.